Well, that's your official signal that we are getting started. And so my name is Robert Roman. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. Um, I am what is my official title? I think I got many titles, but the Vice President, National Sales Manager, Manager, Janitor, and the list goes on. But all in all, what I love to do the most is play and demonstrate models all day long, if I could. And I'm going to be playing this wonderful, fabulous Freedom 3 by Estey. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but let me open up with a song. I actually just start off with the very first button here. I'm going to take you back in time, before your time, and to some wonderful music of the Glenn Miller era. So here we go. Crowd goes, oh my goodness, knocked down my, where's my backup stage crew, Victor? Wow, this music is so phenomenal. It's knocking down the curtains. I got my stage crew here to help me out while I'm talking. Anyway, so this is the Freedom 3 by Estey. And that's Victor. Say hi, Victor. Wave in there. No, you got to wave down here. There he is. This is America's oldest name in home organs. And a lot of people are surprised by that when I say that. But back in the Civil War days, Estey had the pump organ and was, I want to say in the late 40s, somewhere around that time, the name kind of went away. And then back in the early 90s, Fletcher Music Centers purchased the name and the rights to the Estey, because back in those days we had to introduce some of the models on the introductory, mid-range, intermediate model range, and we did that for 10 years. And then we went on to a different product for many years, and then kind of like full circle, we're back where we started. And even better, and the name Freedom was actually used in 2 generations, hence the name Freedom 3 by Estey. So we're very proud of this. Not only we're proud of it, not because of what you're going to see and hear today, but also because a lot of what you're going to see and hear came from our very own staff members. During the time that we were putting this together, the owner of our company said, he put up one of those flip chart things, he said, we're going to design our own organ. What should it have? What should it do for this price range? And Dawn, I remember Dawn giving her feedback and me giving feedback. All of us gave feedback, and he took a picture of it and he sent it over to the engineers. And long story short, this is what we have. But what's so phenomenal about this product is, well, everything you hear today is going to be phenomenal. It's very simple and easy to use. When you first turn it on, it automatically has what's called an auto setup button. Now, many instruments have this feature where it automatically sets up the instrument. However, what I love about the auto setup on here, because of all the styles of music that we have in here, which there are 36 different styles of music in here, not going to play them all, what it does is it gives you a unique setup that takes all of the guesswork out of what to do. So when I put on that style called Big Band, it automatically set up some brass and some woodwind instruments. And I'll just go right next door to the next button here, and it's a country button. And I'll tell you about this in a little bit, but there are 4 different ways to choose from on each of these. So I'm going to just do one of my favorites on here, because This is a style they call acoustic guitar. Now, I don't know if you remember the name Glenn Campbell. We have Glenn Miller. Now we're going to go to Glenn Campbell. And Glenn Campbell had some wonderful music of his time. This one here is called the acoustic guitar, and it starts off with just a nice, pretty acoustic guitar playing. Yeah. Crowd. Oh, he liked that. Yeah. Wasn't that great? Now, what's great about the instrument too, and a lot of the other things you're going to see in here, is it's very easy to use. You got a lot of variety, but it's also designed with some educational features that you're going to hear along the way. Now, you'll notice that it actually has 2 levels. Okay? Now, interesting enough, most people get started with a 1 level. Now, I didn't say 1 keyboard or 2 keyboard. I said 1 level, 2 level, and here's why. Essentially, the 1 level or 1 keyboard is really 2 keyboards into 1. You have 1 for your left hand, 1 for your right hand. 1 keyboard, 2 keyboard, okay? The placement is simply done like this on a 1 keyboard. But what happens is when you go to a 2 keyboard or 2 level, your hand placement goes here. So what happens, a lot of newer students, we tend to notice when they're reading music, sometimes their hands are in a certain place and they look, we call this the Bermuda Triangle effect, because you have your right hand over here, your left hand over here, and the students tend to look in both directions sometimes when they're looking at their hands, and it makes it hard and they tend to lose their space. So their place. So what happens is on a 2 manual, it doesn't bring it like this, so where you're one hand over the other, but it brings it a little bit closer. So when you do look at your hands, it makes it easier to find the notes. And there's some really cool features in here that you're going to realize. One that I'm going to jump into right away that I absolutely love, because I'm going to use it a few times, and it's called the song setup. Okay? Now, there's also a feature called songs. A lot of the instruments have the song feature. Now, I'll come back to that and show you how they improved on that to really make making music easy. The song setup is different. It does exactly what it says. It sets up the organ to play your favorite songs. Okay? So, let's take a song that most people learn in the beginning. You know, a lot of people have, well, here's a book here I'm looking at. This Conductor Magic, some of you use this book. And there's 10 great songs in here. Let's say I want to play a song like Jingle Bells, or, oh, When the Saints Go Marching In. And I'm not quite sure how to set up the instrument for this song. So what I do is I go to my setup, and I find, and it says, When the Saints. Okay? So I simply press Find When the Saints on Song Setup, and I hit Select, and what it does is it sets up the entire instrument for me to play the song When the Saints. So I don't have to try to figure out which buttons to use. Now, as I go through the song setup list, I'll play a few more, but let's start off with something simple, and then we'll kind of circle it back around. So I'm brand new. I don't know how to set it up. I ask for assistance. I put song setup, and I find When the Saints. I hit Select, and it sets it all up for me. And But you know, we learn out of those beginners books, but I've noticed a lot of our students like to explore. So they go to our How Leonard music book rack and they'll find songs that they love. And they'll find songs like Shelby Coming Around the Mountain, or maybe they'll find songs like Yellow Submarine or things like that. But, you know, for example, I found this title in here, She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. So let's just say I've got the easy play music for She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. And I have the music here. Actually, I happen to have it right here, thank goodness, because I don't want to goof this up with a live audience. Let me get She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain here. And it is page, looks like it's missing out of this page here. She'll be, there it is. Okay, so I've got She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. I don't know what buttons to push, how to set it up. So again, I go to my song setup. I scroll to She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. I hit select. It sets up the entire instrument for me automatically. All I have to do is play now. Are you ready? Let's have some fun with this. Ooh. All aboard! Wow. You hear that steam? Isn't that great? So now, song setup, I might use it from time to time. When I do, I'll tell you that I'm doing it. So if you see me reaching up here, pressing this button right here, and then scrolling, I'm finding a setup for the song that I want to play, and it sets up the entire instrument for me magically. Now, another neat little trick, little tools to making music fun and easy. Something that we do a lot. And if you've been to our store, which I know you have, you've heard us playing from time to time. Something we do when we're playing, and we don't always tell the students, by the way, I was using this feature. We just do it naturally because we've done this for so long. And it's something very simple, but very helpful at the same time. And it's a feature simply called fill. Okay, so most of you have this button here called fill. All right, and then another feature that we use is what's called a glide. Okay, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But the reason why I'm telling you both now is our instrument has this what's called the volume pedal or an expression pedal. Now, I'll move the camera down so you could see it just a little bit. You might not be able to see it too well in that view there, but right here, my foot goes here. And here's a little trick that I do is I put it all the way up and then I adjust the volume here so I can use my foot without making the volume go crazy. All right, now on this foot switch to the right, there's a switch, and to the left there's a switch. Okay, the one to the right activates this fill-in button here. Okay, so let me demonstrate again with the song setup that I just had. So when you heard me doing this, and you heard the train, okay, you could either reach up and press the fill button, but let's face it, a lot of students that are at this level are newer, and the last thing you want to do is take your hands off the keys and reach up and touch a button and then try to find their place. So what we did on here, and I don't know if you'll see it from that angle, but I'll demonstrate it. To the right here, you just tap the switch and it automatically activates the fill. Now watch. Here's my hands. Nothing up my sleeves. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, no fill. So anytime that I'm playing any song, any music, I'll tap over and just the band will do something fancy, if you will. You know what's also great about that feature? Show of hands, maybe not you guys, but this happens to me once in a while. Have you ever had a piece of music up when you're playing and you got it to a part of the song and then you kind of lose your spot because you look down? Doesn't happen to you? Miranda sometimes. Oh, a hand came. Dawn loses her place all the time. You know, someday I'll teach you how to play Marianne, Dawn, without looking at your music or at your hands.
Do I have to?
Yes. No. You can do whatever you want when you're doing it for the hobby. But another cool thing about the fill is if you're ever losing your spot in the music, let's put it back here so I don't have to keep my neck turned over. There we go. Let's say Marianne. Okay. Marianne, you say? I haven't played this in a while, so I better have the music up. I'll put on, Rumba Ricky. It's one of those new Latin styles. And while I'm playing, I'm going to lose my place in the music, and I'm going to, instead of reaching up and holding the fill and finding my place, I'll just activate the fill with my foot switch. I'll tell you when I do it. Here we go. Ooh, I like this new Rumba Ricky style. Okay, so far I'm doing good. Uh-oh, where am I? Fill in. Okay, let it do the fill. Let me look it. Find my place. I'm ready to go. Here we go. Woo! Yay! Let's hear it for Phil, everybody. Now, I mentioned another feature that was really cool, and it's a feature that, in simple terms, what we call bending the note. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is put on a nice. Let's see here. How about a little country? Oh, we got a guitar waltz. We got a country waltz. We've got. We'll do country music. We'll just do a nice, good classic country here. So we have a new style here called Country Love. Now, some of these styles, by the way, well, I'll tell you about it in a little bit. This Country Love is really special because they took it actually off of one of the bigger models. Listen. I want you to listen closely to the guitar sound. Think about Hawaiian music, steel guitars, harmonicas, all of these instruments that do these, what we call the bend effect. And in short, it's known in our world as the glide. So on that volume pedal, there's another switch that allows you to bend those notes. So when you're playing, you can bend those notes just by the use of that. Or if you're playing Hawaiian music, or maybe I want a harmonica. Let's see, a H for harmonica. are here. Yeehaw, everybody. Yeehaw. So the fill, the glide, and the other cool thing about that volume pedal, you've heard me refer to it as the expression pedal as well. Think about piano players. When they want more expression out of the piano, they strike the keys harder. Well, with these instruments, we don't have to do that. So what happens is, all we do is we put our foot on the expression pedal, set the volume that we don't blast ourselves or our neighbors or what have you. And while we're playing, you can give yourself expression, soft or full, as you're playing with ease. So that expression pedal does wonders for our students for recreational music making. Now, something that is really cool. You're going to love this. Now, Dawn, I think she's there somewhere. I saw her hand a little while ago. There she is. I've noticed, Dawn, when you play, like in concerts, if you do concerts, I noticed that sometimes in your right hand, you're not always using one finger. Sometimes you play 3 fingers. And then I've noticed sometimes she does 1 finger, but she sounds like she's using 3 fingers. And for a while there, she was really stumping me. Then I caught on to her little secret. But you know, Don, how long have you been playing the keys?
Yes.
How long have you been playing?
Yes.
Sounds like a long time. Well, I do know this. Don's been with Fletcher Music Centers, I know, at least 20 years or more. I've been with him going on, I don't know the exact year, but I got started in 1993, so it'll be 30 years next year. And there's some people that have been doing a lot longer. We have all these wonderful artists, and when they play, they took them years to be able to play 3 notes at a time. And the reason why they do that is because it makes it sound full. So, for example, if I was playing a song like, just a simple song like, let's see here. I'm going to put on the Latin here. And, I'm going to play this groovy Latin here in a minute. But what I'm going to do is put on just a nice, good, sweet organ sound here, or jazz organ. And here's a 1 note. Okay, a 1 note sound. Here's 2 notes. Here's 3 notes. It's a lot fuller with 3 notes. So what a lot of artists will do when they're playing, that's not easy to do. And I chose that song because that's the only one I could do that with. But if you've been practicing at it for 30 years, you might be able to do that for a song. Or, are you ready for this? Drum roll, please. That was my drum roll effect. There's a button here called trio. So when you push trio meaning 3, it plays 3 notes while you simply press 1 note. Now listen. Okay, this is without it. Doesn't sound bad. Now trio. Watch how full and rich now. 3 notes with 1 finger. And it works with everything. So maybe you want to bring in a string orchestra. So if you're ever wondering, how do they sound so good when they play? Well, we're cheating. We're using features to make us sound big and full and rich. Or maybe I want to make it a little bit on the lighter side, all right, and do something like this, what they call a duet. Duet meaning 2 flutes. Ooh. Back to a full sound trio. Crowd roars. Thank you. Holy applause. Thank you. Holy applause. Now, these are some really cool features. These features are all designed. Again, keep in mind, so a student, even if they're playing for the very first time in their life, they can take a simple song, play it, and immediately sound like they've been playing for 20 years. That's why we have these features on these instruments. So the song setup feature that I mentioned is great because it gives you 100 preset setups for 100 top song titles. So you don't have to worry about which buttons do I push. You have your glide features and your fill features, so that way when you're playing, your hands stay on the keys, and then you can tap and get all these special effects that the instrument can do while we're playing our songs like we normally play. You have what's called a harmony feature, which means by activating trio and duet, it plays 3 notes with 1 finger or 2 notes with 1 finger, depending on which one you choose. But here's another great educational tool. So I mentioned song setup earlier, and then I also mentioned something new and different with the song button. Now the song button works like any instrument that has this feature, in that, and this one here has 30 song titles as an example, and it plays 30 songs, okay? And that's great. If you're doing some house chores around the house and you don't feel like playing and just push the song button on and it'll play all the songs. The other neat thing about these songs is if you hear them being played, it helps with the mind when you go to play the songs, because the more you hear it, we tend to play the song as we see it based on the way we hear it as well. That's good. But there's another feature, and in 29 years doing this, I've not seen an instrument in this price category have this feature. This to me is spectacular. And this is kind of one of those where I said, it's about time we did that on a smaller instrument, because a newer student in the hobby needs these features more than someone's been doing it for a while. Now, I have a songbook here. It says Freedom 3 by Estey. And there are 30 songs in this book. Okay? All 30 songs happen to be the 30 songs that are recorded in the organ. So, essentially, I can play those. But now I have a hard time deciding which one I want, because there are great songs here. We have the songs that you're learning in class, like Love Me Tender, to Little Brown Jug, those Conductor Magic, to Beer Barrel Polka, Amazing Grace, Rocky Top, Spanish Eyes. Let's play, how about Love Me Tender? So I'm going to find Love Me Tender. And, oh, I should look at the page number here. Page, song number 9. Okay. Jingle Bells. There it is. Just like in the Conductor Magic book. All right. Now, I'm going to press the song button. Just simply scroll up to Love Me Tender. At this point, if I press start, it's going to start playing Love Me Tender. Here's the feature that makes learning 1,000 times easier. Newer students have to learn their left hand, right? Left, pinky, pointer, thumb, red, blue, green, red, blue, green. You got your position here, depending on the song, etc. And then you have to put them here or here, however you want it. And then you have to look here. Try not to look here. And then occasionally we do. you know, so sometimes what we'll do is we'll say, you know, how about just playing the left hand and singing the song a little bit? That's good, but then this hand gets neglected. So then we'll say, why don't you play the melody a few times first? But if you play the melody without the music, it's kind of boring. So what we did is we put both together for the student. So what we have here is a song feature. I'm going to press start, and I'm going to let it play the song for a while, for several measures or whatever. At which point I'm going to jump in and start playing the melody. But this is what I'm going to do. There's a button here called Melody Off. When I press that button, it'll stop the melody from playing, allowing me to play the melody, and the rest of the band, the chord changes, everything will continue and play everything correctly, so I can just focus on playing the melody. If at any time I feel like I need a break, I can turn it off and it'll resume. So watch. We'll start it by playing first. Right now the song is playing as recorded. Now I'm going to take over. I've seen where it's playing. I'm going to turn off the melody. Now if I let go, there's no melody. So it's allowing me to play it. Okay, I lost my spot. Let me turn it back. Let it take over. Whew. Okay, I want to do it now. I want to practice my right hand. Melody off. Whew. That was fun and easy. Ooh, that's pretty. And it's also a great button to use, and if you have like someone that family or friend member, you're on the phone, you say, listen. Oh wait, 1, 2. It keeps wanting to play. You could fool somebody and just play the song and say, listen to me. You can trick some people with that. When the Saints Go Marching In. I did that one earlier. Let's see, we'll go back to that one. That one's kind of fun to practice because it repeats it twice. So let me go to When the Saints Go Marching In. What page is that? Okay, number 6. Same thing. We'll let it play first. So it's doing everything right now. Following along. I think I'll take over now. And I can do this too. Whew. Okay, need a little break. Okay. Not doing too bad here. I think I can do better. Here we go. Melody off. Ooh, Count Basie. Yeah! Yeah! I'm clapping up here so you can hear the hand clapping. Isn't that great? There are these great features. Now, here's what's really cool about this instrument, besides everything that you've heard already. You've heard me talk about many wonderful features. If I do like any other student does, where they put a piece of music on, they select a style or a song setup, it automatically sets up all of these features as needed. So whenever I want to use the foot switches, it's always set up there for me. I don't have to think about it. If I want a harmony, I can turn it on, or sometimes it'll turn it on for me because that's an appropriate place to do it. All of these things are set up automatically so that it makes playing music as a hobby very easy and fun. And you do less of this and more of this and a lot of this, having fun playing music. Now, what I'm going to do is feature some of my favorite, what I call $70,000 styles. Now, luckily, this is not a $70,000 instrument. Why do I call it $70,000 styles? Well, these are styles that once upon a time, that if you wanted a style of music like this on an instrument of this size, you had to pay big money. And we were very fortunate in that the designer, the programmer, the musical engineer, if you will, was also the music engineer of our Lowry models for many years. And so he incorporated a lot of the styles of music that you hear on some of our high-end models right here in an instrument of this size. So as an example, here's a style here they called smooth 16-beat. This is, and it almost speaks for itself. It's smooth. It's just a gorgeous style if you want to play some really wonderful slow songs, Wind Beneath My Wings, songs like that, Memory from Cats, just a lot of great songs of that nature. And it automatically sets up everything for me by the touch of one button, and here we go. Here's a song that I love playing. It's called Somewhere Out There. Ooh, a beautiful breathy saxophone. And we have so many varieties of style. You heard big band music. You have country. You heard some 50s Love Me Tender type music. You heard a style like that. And then there's folks out there that are very proud of their, they might have been in the service or what have you. So we actually have the John Philip Sousa's March Band here. You got to have a march. But I'll tell you what I love about this button here. If I go to this Styles 2 button, it gives me two great options here. One is called Showtime. Are you ready for this? Hang on. So if you like the music of the Broadway musicals or what have you, ooh, that's fun. Boy, that really gets you going there, too. And, of course, they added a gospel button. Now, we have several ways we can do this. You can do it nice soft gospel. You can do what they call a joyful gospel. You can do a revival beat. Well, we'll just pick joyful and see what happens. Are you ready? Now, I'll tell you why I like this style. I've had a lot of people say, I discovered that if I went and purchased an Estey Freedom III, I found a way to where it won't cost me anything. Wow, how did you do that? I asked. They said, well, I learned a few gospel songs, and every week I had a party at the house, and while I started playing gospel music, I passed around the hat, and after about 50 parties, I had my organ paid for. Sounds good to me. Ooh, duet harmony. Trio. Oh, thank you. Whew, I'm having fun. I hope you are too. Now, these styles of music, I can't tell you we were so excited when this came out, when we first introduced this, because we were hearing these wonderful styles of music and sounds, and we're going, that was on the big one. That was on the large, expensive model. And now it's at a price point that virtually anyone can afford. This next style of music I'm going to play, I haven't heard anyone say I don't like that one. This style that you're going to hear is just absolutely gorgeous. Think about songs like Can't Help Falling in Love. I mentioned Memory from Cats. What is the Unchained Melody? Those beautiful ballads that have what they call like a ballad triplets feel. What a Wonderful World. I don't know many people who don't like that song. This style was originally introduced for the very first time on a model that retailed for nearly $80,000. And at that time, if someone wanted this style, that's how much money you had to pay to get this style. And a lot of people paid a lot of money just to get this style. And now we have it on our Estey Freedom III. The style is simply called Wonderful 6/8, okay? And so when you hear it, you'll obviously hear that What a Wonderful World introduction feel, and it's absolutely perfect for that song, and in many others that I just, in some of the examples that I explained. So sit back and enjoy this gorgeous arrangement and style, Wonderful 6/8, featuring the song What a Wonderful World. Notice those fills are perfectly in there automatically. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, I don't know if you saw this, but I intentionally did this because I wanted you to see that it could be done. I was playing my left hand here, and then partway through the song, as I moved my hand up, I also moved my left hand along with it. What's really cool about this is that depending on where you're playing, you can put your hand placement that is comfortable for you. So if someone says, I like this one way down here and this one way up here, fine. Or in my case, I was playing the melody here, so I kept it there here. Then I went up the second part, I moved it up here, but it was a little too far for me, so I moved my hand up as well. That's one of the key advantages of having a two-level or two-keyboard instrument, but really a two-level instrument. Well, I have one other fun number to play for you. Before I do, just a look or thumbs up. Did you have a good time today? Yes? Thumbs up? All right, shaking your head. Okay, am I being graded on this today? I have teachers on here, so I've got to be really good. We hope you enjoyed the music today. We are so proud of this instrument. I'm going to leave you with a small opportunity. You can chat with your staff members. But this week, it's, well, actually this week, yesterday was President's Day. And because we have several stores, what we decided to do, each store has a designated President's Day opportunity. And I wanted to take this opportunity. I'm not the president, I'm the vice president, but that's okay because I'm doing a very special vice president's opportunity as if I were the president. And on all of our in-stock Freedom 3s that were, pay very close attention, staff members, that were in stock before we got our shipment. And the reason why I say that is we recently finally got a large shipment of SD models, and we had several of these in stock on hand. And what I decided to do was to offer the ones that were already on inventory floor models at a very, very special price point for those who are interested, okay? So see your staff members, and if they need more details, they can easily contact me by phone. It's very quick and easy. But we're very proud of this. This is an instrument that we currently make. It's one of the newest models that's being made. It is designed by us, by Fletcher. It's owned by Fletcher Music Centers. We own the SD name and the rights. So we're proud of it for many reasons. And it's very quickly become one of the best models for students, especially newer in the hobby, and one of the best values we've ever had in a very, very long time. Just to give you one other quick idea, comparable models in the years past were at least $2,000 or $3,000 more than what we offer here, and we're able to offer this with a lot more in it for a very small price point. So we're very, very proud of this instrument. I'm going to leave you with one little fun number here for you. We're going to go back into the 50s and play a little 50s rock and roll, and I know that because it says 50s rock and roll. And it's really cool. I think he counts in here too to help me stay on beat. And this is a great, if you like to play songs like Rock Around the Clock and what have you. In fact, this arrangement was taken and inspired by that song, the original arrangement by Billy Haley and his Comets. Did I say that right? Don, did I say that right? She's the music wizard here. Miranda, did I say that right? Billy Haley and his Comets?
I don't think it's Billy. I think it's Bill.
Bill Haley and his Comets.
Not Billy.
Not Billy?
On. Billy? I think it's Bill. It's Bill. I'm not sure though. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's my best buddy. I called him Billy. Oh, I'm recording this. That's not true, folks. We'll cut that part out, edit. Okay, Bill and his Comets. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wait. I didn't catch that timing there. I got to get my timing right.
1, 2, 3.
One more time. Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
The Freedom 3 by Estey, everyone. Let's give it a big round of applause. This is where you unmute yourself and you go, hey! Thank you very much. Because I am recording this. I don't want to be the only one going, hey! Well, I could be, but the only one going, hey, the Freedom 3 by Estey. Oh, oh, love it. Anyway, I have so much fun with this. I'm going to leave you with this. I actually, some people know this, some don't, but when the pandemic really took root 2 years ago, and we were making all these changes with inventory and closing stores, warehouses, and we were running out of space. I had one of these in my home for over a year that I got to use. It was supposed to be for space, but I got to play it a lot too. So I've really fallen in love with this instrument. And then until they took it out of my house because they said they needed it. But I can tell you firsthand, I had one for a very long time, and it was just an absolute treat. So with that said, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm glad you enjoyed the concert and the demonstration.